Hey everybody, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and it involves Lego flowers. Lego sent me a bunch of their botanical sets from the Botanical collection, and today in this video we're going to take a look at them and place them on the shelves with the others. Also, I think there's one here that could be integrated into the Lego city. This little bonsai tree right here, I think we could like transplant that into like a MILS plate within the botanical garden or within our central park or out front of some modular buildings or something like that. I think it'd be super cool. I can't get over some of the part usage within the botanical collection. Like some of these come with so many butterflies or Wolverine claws, just interesting parts in general. So yeah, let's have a look at them and update that shelf. So we're actually going to start with this one here. It comes with 253 pieces, and this is the mixed flower pot. Now the interesting thing about this one is you can't actually purchase it from Lego right now. This was a gift with purchase. It came out a number of months ago, and I can't remember what the threshold was. A pretty decent looking gift with purchase in the 18 plus style packaging, and it came with one instruction manual. There's not really a write-up or anything in there, but it's a fair-sized little booklet there. Now, I am not a botanist, I am a Lego fan, so I more so focus on the part usage rather than the flowers. I'm not going to be able to identify all of the different flowers. If Mrs. Bricksie was here, I'm sure she would be able to do that, but I really like the rose. It has some interesting part usage. Who knows if it's rose? Once again, if it's not, I'm sorry. It comes with the wheel wells in the interior, those curved pieces, and it's built onto like a snot brook. Also, the butterfly usage in a lot of these flowers is awesome. I love getting lots of different butterflies in sets, and flower sets come with a lot of them. So you've got the yellow ones there, also these purple like leafy elements there on the 2x2 circular plates with like the jumper, the large green leaf below that, and then we have these stem pieces right here, which you can create like tomato vines with, but they have the two different shades of orange on those two different flower elements. So there's some interesting part usage that you can use to create flowers for your own Lego city, or I guess your own botanical collection. And we have some large leaves coming off the back there, and all the stems are actually created using some Technic elements, and they're all within this rounded pot that has the nice feet. So great little display piece. This is a brilliant gift with purchase. This comes with some great flower elements and also the butterflies, and I feel like it presents really well for a gift with purchase. Next up we have the Petite Sunny Bouquet, and this one here comes with 373 pieces. It retails for $30 US. Now the thing with this one here is it doesn't come with any sort of pot. It's not potted, so these are just loose. So you got to get your own vase like it's depicted on the picture there. It doesn't come with a glass vase. And that's the thing with a lot of these botanical sets is there's not really a good way to display them out of the package. You've got to be prepared to invest in a vase, or if you're giving it to someone who already has a vase, or if you already have a vase, well then you can treat it like a real flower, which is pretty cool. And I've seen some people create some really neat looking arrangements by combining multiple botanical sets that don't come with the vases. Now this set actually comes with two instruction manuals, and within the first couple pages it identifies all the different flowers that you're going to create, such as the bluebell, the Cleopatra fern, the yellow yarrow, the Gerber daisy, tulip, a daisy, just a whole bunch of different flowers. You can read all the different names there. So it's pretty special because there's so many different varieties found within the set. First off, we've got the Gerber daisy with all the paddle elements clipped to the circular piece. These like to move, so it's hard getting it perfect, but I love these paddle blades here. Very cool in the pink color. Also, the central part is very nice as well with the two different shades of yellow. Then we have the yellow yarrow here. That one comes with the yellow flowers and leaves. And I've never really seen these elements before on the blue bell. It's almost like a mop tip. We've seen minifigures carry that around, and I like the curved shape that it has there with the curved like minifig posing element. You've seen those posing minifigures around like the Sanctum Sanctorum and the Avengers Tower, etc. There's tulips in behind the Gerber daisy there. I love these sunflower pieces. They are just so nice. We've got them in white and also in yellow in this set. And then we have a large peony here with the shell elements and some of those like rubberized horn pieces in the center. And then filling it all in is, of course, the stems and the fern pieces built with those classic palm tree elements. Now, you'll probably notice that mine is sitting in a vase. No, it did not come with the vase. We actually found this on rebrickable.com. It's called the Brick Vase by LEGO Bricks. And it's a 2x4 brick. And it serves as a vase for your flowers. Look at that. It's all brick built. And then we've got these circular elements on the face of it. Unfortunately, we don't have enough of these rounded tiles. So some of them have some studs exposed, but it actually looks pretty cool with the studs exposed. And you'll notice that the flowers aren't moving around within the vase because when you look inside the vase, we actually filled it with studs that we had left over from our art sets. So it locks them all in place, keeping our arrangement looking beautiful. So there you go. That's another way that you can come up with a vase for your flower collection or for your botanical sets, is just by brick building one, or by searching on Rebrickable and finding a cool design like this one here by LEGO Bricks. But I honestly think that LEGO should sell a set alongside the other botanical sets that is a vase. They could even have a Creator 3-in-1 style set, or something that you can build 3 or 4 different styles of vases from a single set, and they could sell them alongside their botanical collection. I think that would just be a great synergy between 2 different types of sets. Wouldn't that be neat? I think so. Now we had our little mixed flower pot, and now we have the larger flower arrangement. I believe these sets came out at the same time. That just makes sense. Yeah, this once again was a gift with purchase. This one here retails for $110 US. It has 1,161 pieces. It comes with 1 instruction manual. A gift of creative nature. I think the botanical sets are great gifts. They're like flowers that never die, right? Sometimes you can spend a lot of money on just like a flower arrangement in general, and it could potentially die. So this one will stick around forever. But within the first few pages of the instruction manual, of course, they're going to go over all the different flowers which can be found within the flower arrangement. And you can see there are a lot of different flowers. So pretty neat. It definitely is a great gift for somebody, even if they're not into LEGO. I think that this just presents beautifully. Now it is $110, so I guess it is fairly expensive for 1,161 pieces, but I'll give you a little hint. If you head on over to Amazon, odds are you're probably going to find this one on sale. I have found multiple of our botanical sets on sale, such as the poinsettia recently. We recently added that to the shelf there and we found it on sale. But look at the different part usage. We've got the yellow clamshells, also the large umbrella pieces there. And I think the interesting thing about the flower elements is you get these pieces that you don't see very often. Like how many clamshells do you have in your collection? Not very many. How many yellow umbrellas? Not very many either. And look at these purple flowers here. They are just stacked with butterflies. Like holy, that is a lot of butterflies. We've got some leafy elements coming out the bottom there just to add to the arrangement. And then we have the large circular pieces right there, which are actually connector elements. Once again, how many of those have you seen? Not very many. So it's pretty cool that LEGO is introducing all of these interesting pieces in strange colors for these botanical sets. And they just really do pop with the oranges and the dark reds and magentas, purples, greens, and all that. It really does present really well. I think this one here is just like, honestly, a little bit breathtaking. Like it looks beautiful. Also, we got like the filler flower in there, the white ones. I can't remember what they're called. All the stems within, you can see all the different part usage to create those, like the Technic elements and also the candlesticks. And then the pot, the way the pot was constructed using these studs not on top techniques, and the way that these were clipped into the circular element found within the pot. Very, very, very cool. So this was a very interesting build, but one thing I will say about the flower arrangements and botanical sets in general is they are repetitious builds. So for example, these ones, you've got to build all of these and they're built this same way. right? So there's a lot of repetition found within the botanical collection, but if you build trees for your Lego city, or if you've built these before, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Generally, when you're building any sort of greenery or vegetation, there's a lot of repetition involved just because flowers are very symmetrical and usually grow in bunches. So yeah, just prepare yourself for a little bit of repetition, but it's worth it in the end. Look how beautiful that looks. Unfortunately, it seems like the prices are getting a little bit higher and maybe even a little bit out of control here in 2025. This hibiscus set has 660 pieces and it's being released on August 1st. So once again, thank you LEGO for providing this set early to reveal and review. This one retails for $70 US. So it is fairly expensive. I don't know how much a potted hibiscus plant would be, like a real one, but I guess a plastic one with 660 pieces retails for $70. So although it is a little bit expensive, the build was amazing, and in my opinion, it looks incredible. But once again, builds like this can become rather repetitious because the flowers are virtually all the same. For example, on this step here, we have to build 2 of these flowers, and then each flower requires 5 of the same petals, so it can become tedious. And later on in the instruction manual, you're doing the exact same thing again. But I really do enjoy the potted plant builds because look at this. You can remove that, and it's like insane in the inside with all the Technic elements. Look at the structure. So cool, right? And these are all held in place by Technic lift arms. And it's like color coordinated, so white goes in there, and then yellow goes on there. Super cool, right? Like a fun build. And it's just like more than what meets the eye with some of the botanical sets. Like the pots are just crazy. That one just looks so clean. I love the shape of it. And then these flowers with the lavender clamshells and like the purple circular elements, magenta centers, the crowns bursting out. You got some dinosaur eggs right there. The dark green steering wheels in behind with the flowers clipped to that. The larger leaves coming off the like stem of the flower, which is actually a really neat build done in the dark tan as well. You can see the support structure coming up from the pot, and then we have all the different little branches branching off from that. Some of the new like tulip elements, so they're like buds or like flowers that are ready to blossom. And just like the angles and the way that this is constructed with all the curves and everything, just looks so natural and beautiful. Really well done. It just pops. It's just like glimmering in the light here too. You can see the way that the lights in the studio are just reflecting off those clamshell pieces. Yeah, it just looks beautiful, doesn't it? It's just great to look at. It just presents so well. The mini bonsai trees retail for $65 US and have 709 pieces. Once again, I would advise you to look for these sets on sale within a couple months, because odds are they will be on sale. That's quite common. But the instruction manuals, there's 3 of them, so you can build them as a team, identify which bonsai trees you get, like the ginkgo, also the wisteria, and the Japanese black pine. So yeah, 3 different bonsai trees, 3 different colors, and lots of different part usage. I like this concept, the fact that you get the 3 little mini ones, and once again, I could probably integrate these into the Lego city, but each one comes with their own little pot. It's on one of those Mario elements in reddish brown, and it's framed using the dark blue tiles and also these interesting curved slopes. Then we have the base for the Japanese pine with like the slope detail there, some roots coming down into the pot, and the Wolverine claws. Great part usage there. I do think it is a little bit sparse on the top here, but of course you can arrange these. They do move side to side and they hinge upward and downward. We've got like the, look like bicycle handles there. So those can hinge up and down, and you can move these side to side. But even when you hinge them in certain directions, I still think, maybe not. Maybe, I think it looks a little bit sparse. I think there's a weird hole there. Yeah, even if you arrange these, I still think that hole exists and it doesn't look as full as it should, especially when you compare it to the source material there. I do like this interesting element right there. That's a great tree building piece, and this one comes with a little stand as well, which is done in reddish brown and dark orange. Uses one of those large 8x8 like grate elements in dark orange with the jumper, so you can actually attach this to the stand, and it elevates it just a little bit up off the ground. Then we have our next one here. I can't even remember the name of it, and I probably said it wrong anyway, so I'm sorry about that. Once again, built using the same technique. They're the same element with the Mario piece and the dark blue pieces. Got the interesting curved like trunk of the tree, and these large like dinosaur tail elements coming off to get some interesting angles there, and some Technic pieces. More of those bicycle handles, and then all sorts of different flowers. You got some of those sunflower pieces in the pink and white, and some purples and greens mixed in. And there is a little bit of repetition with these once again, because you've got to build all of these, which are the same. And for the Japanese pine, you have to build all of the elements with the Wolverine claws, which are all the same. And then this one here has like the nice curve on the trunk. There's no stand for this one here, so they're presented at 3 different heights. And this one just has the yellow leaves with the yellow butterflies. Pretty basic builds, but I think they're nice and small and present well as or in a group. I like all the different part usage. I love the Wolverine claws. I want to order some more Wolverine claws for my Lego city, just because I think they're great for creating little pops of grass. Also, I love these different flower elements. Got to get some of those for the city so we can just change up some of the vegetation and flowers within our city. And then you can never go wrong with butterflies. There is 3 per leaf there. I think there was 12 leaves, so there's 36 butterflies in this set. This one sits on a stand as well. It's constructed the same way as the other stand, but then it also has some legs, which are held together with some modified bricks with the forward-facing studs, and those are connected together using the antennas. Of the 5 that we had a look at today, which one's your favorite? I'm leaning toward the hibiscus. Like, the pot is just so cool, and the colors really work well together. I love the little details of like the stems and the angles and curves that they have, and the tulip pieces for like the budding flowers. But then shoe on the other foot, I feel like this one over here offers a lot of variety compared to the hibiscus. But either way, they all look great when they're presented together. Okay, so now the big question is where should I put these botanical sets? Should I put them beside the Hulkbuster? No, I don't think that makes sense. They've got to go on this shelf right over here. I've got one of the half Billy bookcases. Looks like we've got some room to spare on the shelf, so that's good, like right above the roses and the orchid. And some room right over here above the poinsettia. But I don't know if that amount of space is going to fit all these new flowers, so I'll probably have to move Vincent van Gogh as well. Before we take care of that, let's grab one of our little bonsai trees here and see how we could integrate it into a MILS plate, or sort of plant it in a Lego city. First thing I would do would probably be remove that element, because we want to gain access to these dark blue pieces, and essentially remove it from its pot. Well, that was easy. This here is 6 by 6, and I would MILS plate all the way up to it and then just fill in the gaps around it, if that makes sense. It's 6 by 6, so I'm trying to think how I would do that with the elements that I have here right now. Probably just like pretend that this is MILS plated, I guess, right? We'll space out some 2 by 2 bricks all the way around it. Now at this point, I don't really know where I want to put it in my Lego city. I know eventually all 3 of them will be put into the Lego city. I had a brief look at the 2 little parks, and I just want to sleep on where to put it. And I honestly have a different project involving an epic Lego set that I'm going to be integrating into the Lego city to take care of today as well. At least start building that. That's that new Italian set, Italian Riverside. So yeah, I got to get on that before thinking about this. So I think this is how I would do it though. Pretty simplistic, just MILS plate around the bonsai tree. Yeah, I just went and grabbed a 2x8 and a 2x6 so I could literally just pop a 2x8 in here. And then pop a 2x6 in here. And fill in the 1x1 studs around it. And just like that, I have taken this bonsai tree set and planted it in a MILS plate. Vincent remains beside Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Below him, the orchid and the roses remain. I'm not a huge fan of the vase that we have for those roses. Doesn't look that good. Might have to change that up. But then we have a new shelf which hosts the bonsai trees. And eventually we'll free this shelf up. But they look good in the little narrow shelf there below the taller plants on the top. And below that is the new hibiscus. Also the little flower pot. And then those two. I think those really group well together. It's like a really nice pop of color there. Pretty crowded, but you know, I didn't really want to grow past the shelf and I didn't want to move the Vincent van Gogh art there. This shelf is pretty crowded as well, but it works. They're pretty tight, close together. I would like some more space. This one does demand quite a bit of space. I mean, it could sit on its own shelf, is what it is though. It works. Maybe I could lower it one, I guess. But then you wouldn't really see these two that well when you're standing like this. But maybe I should lower it one. This is the succulents here beside the two sunflowers. And then we have that Petite bouquet on the bottom and the original flower or botanical arrangement right there in the glass vase. I did lower this shelf by just articulating some of those leaf elements down. And I think that looks pretty good. So there we go. That is the updated botanical shelf here in the LEGO studio. Definitely looking pretty colorful. And I love it. I think it looks great there. What we should do is move the piranha plant from Mario onto that shelf. That would be pretty funny. But there you go, everybody. I hope you enjoyed my overview of all those sets and also the updated shelf placement. Thank you so much for coming on by. Please like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell.